Spade back. It's pretty rainy today. I'm not doing any Craigslist deals until later this evening if everything goes right. So I'm pretty bored. I haven't really done anything. Don't feel like going to the pawn shops. So what I'm going to do today is the long-awaited video game collection video. Keep in mind, I had some of these games when I was a kid, and I just recently started collecting, probably a little over a month ago. So it's not the biggest collection on the internet by far, but I do take pride in what I have. So without further ado, let's check out my games. Okay, so we're going to start off with my books and strategy guides. The first I'm going to go over is I have the manuals for the Nintendo Zapper and the actual Nintendo system itself. I got these off of Craigslist when I bought this guy's Nintendo. He was the original owner. Unfortunately, he didn't have the box or anything, but it's still pretty cool to have those. And the only Game Informer I've actually kept, the only reason why I kept it is because it has Master Chief on the front, and I enjoy playing Halo. Next, I have the Zelda Collector's Edition Strategy Guide, as well as the Wind Waker Strategy Guide. I also got the Spirit Track Strategy Guide, and that's still sealed. And I got that for really cheap, I think like $20 on Amazon. And technically I got it for free. If you want to know how to get some free stuff off of Amazon, I'll leave I'll put a link right around here, and you can check that video out. It's legit and it's really cool. And then I also got this off of Amazon for free as well, and it's The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia, and I haven't opened it. I really want to. I might end up just buying another one, but I want to keep one sealed, so I might just end up buying another one. It's got a bunch of art and basically a whole official Nintendo timeline of all of the Zelda games. And then I got these from the flea market. I got Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, and this is actually good for red and blue versions. Pokemon Yellow and Resident Evil Nemesis. I think all together I got those for like $10, so it was a pretty good deal. And then these two, actually all of this I got out of the GameStop dumpster dive. Max Payne 3, Final Fantasy 13, and I got 3 of these Fire Emblem art books, and I think you got them when you pre-ordered Fire Emblem Awakening. And I got 3 of them, and I found that in the dumpster as well, and I kept them because Fire Emblem ends up being really collectible, and it's just cool to get some free stuff like that. So that's it for the books. We're going to move on to the consoles next. So first off, I'm going to start off with my Sega Genesis. It's the 2nd edition. And the reason why I'm starting off with this console is because it is downstairs, because my wife likes to play this. We also have a Nintendo Wii down here, as well as the one that's upstairs that I'll show you here in a little bit. And all of our Sega games are down here, and we just recently got the Sega, so we don't have too many. But yeah, F-22, Mortal Kombat 3, that's the complete in box. It's a cardboard box. Miss Pac-Man, Sonic Spinball, and a complete in box Sonic Classics. And we have a few loose parts here as well. Taz, the Escape from Mars. My wife enjoys that game. Earthworm Jim, and Desert Demolition. So, alright, now that those are taken care of, I'm going to go back upstairs and continue this tour. Okay, so continuing the tour of my consoles, you might have seen when we were going over the books, I have my Xbox 360. Right above that is my Nintendo Entertainment System. Moving over here, my Indigo GameCube. I also have a Platinum and Black GameCube, but that's not on display. They're just in boxes, put away. Moving over here, I have my Nintendo Wii with the charging dock for the controllers, and right in there is a Passport hard drive that's plugged into the back that houses about 180 GameCube and Wii games. This is soft modded. That's why you won't see too many Wii games in my collection. I just have a hard time collecting the very common Wii games because I already have them on the hard drive. But I am trying to increase the amount in my Wii collection. Moving over here is a Super Nintendo, and this one is slightly yellowed. And the only reason why I haven't gotten another one is because this was my grandmother's, and she recently passed away, and I inherited this from her, and I just have a hard time putting this away for another one. So then moving down here is my PS2 Slim, and this one is also modified to play backups. So that's why you won't see my PS2 or my PlayStation collection fairly large. But once again, I am trying to increase that with some games that I enjoy to play. Then down here is my my N64 with the expansion pack, and I'm going to show you some of my extra consoles as well. Okay, these are just some of my extra consoles. I also have an original PlayStation and the GameCubes that I told you about. Those are put up in boxes and I just don't feel like digging them out. But I do have another N64 that I am selling, a Nintendo DSi that I am selling, a PS1 that I am selling, and a Sega Master System, and I do have the 3D adapter to go with that. I am selling that as well. And this Super Nintendo I got for $10, and it came with all the cords. I got it for $10 at a flea market, and I'm keeping this. I just don't have it hooked up because I already have my other Super Nintendo hooked up. So now I'm going to go and review my handheld systems that I have on display. Okay, moving on to my handhelds, I have a Game Boy SP that I got off of Craigslist for $10, I believe. And this is my original Game Boy that my grandmother bought me when they first came out. So it's really cool to still have my original Game Boy. Moving on up here, I have a complete in-box DS Lite Zelda edition that I got off of Craigslist for $50, and I didn't realize it was going to come with the box, and it also came with a Pokemon Heart of Gold game, so that was a bonus as well. I got a complete in-box Game Boy Advance Indigo. I paid $15 for this at a play and trade when we had one around here. Now we don't because they all closed down. And I also have a complete in-box Nintendo DSi. I got the DSi off of Craigslist, and it came with the charger and the stylus. And I actually found the box with all the manuals in a dumpster dive video, and it just happened to be the same color, fortunately, as the one I have. So that is complete in box. And before I move completely away from my consoles into my games, I just want to point out I have a Nintendo Wii box and a GameCube box, and then I got that in a dumpster dive video, as well as these two 3DS boxes, and then up top here is the Legend of Zelda for the NES, and a extra copy of Link's Crossbow Training that I have. So let's go on and check out my NES collection. Okay, like I said, I just recently started my NES collection. In fact, I had 0 NES games probably a little over a month ago, so I don't think I'm doing too bad. I'm not a completion collector. I just like to collect some games that have value or games that I enjoy playing. And that's the case with this one, Blaster Master. Not really a valuable game. but it is really fun to play. Bomberman, Dracula's Curse. And I just need to point out, these aren't original boxes. They're just custom boxes that I made with the original artwork. And I have it modified with the game inside. So, because when I got these cases, they actually are too small because they have a bunch of prongs, so they don't fit the NES. So I had to cut all those out. Contra, I ended up getting this in a bundle. So I ended up paying, I think, around $3 for it. Darkwing Duck, Donkey Kong Classic, Double Dragon 2, Dr. Mario, Dragon Warrior, Duck Hunt, DuckTales, Excite Bike, Freedom Force, Gradius, Gumshoe, and Gyromite. Moving down here, I have Hogan's Alley, Kid Icarus, Kung Fu, Mario Bros, Mega Man 2, Metal Gear, Metroid, and I really want to get the yellow copy of Metroid, but unfortunately I just have the original gray copy of Metroid in here. So put that back. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Millipede, another game that doesn't have a tremendous amount of value to it, but I enjoy playing it. Ninja Gaiden, Renegade, Russian Attack, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. This one that doesn't have any artwork is Wild Gunman, and I can't find the artwork online to print out and put in there, so that right there is just sitting there until then. And I also have another edition of The Legend of Zelda, and the reason why this one is in here is because it's like flawless. The paint's flawless, the label's flawless, so that's why it's in there. And I also have the Legend of Zelda 2 Adventures of Link, but that's with my sealed games, so I will go over that here in a little bit. Moving on to my Super Nintendo collection, I don't have a ton. I mean, you're looking at what I have right now. Up until a couple days ago, I actually had like 3, and I just got a ton of them. So, not a ton, but I just like tripled the amount I had in one day, so it was pretty cool. I got Bulls vs. Blazers complete in box, and I got that on Craigslist with a deal that came with a Donkey Kong 64 complete in box as well, and that's the only reason why I took the deal. And I paid $30 for the 2 games, so not a steal, but definitely worth it. I got Monopoly factory sealed. Not the greatest game, but it is factory sealed, and I got it for $2 at the flea market, so that was pretty cool. It actually still had the Walmart sticker on there, and if I'm not mistaken, the Walmart sticker said I think it was around like 25 bucks or something like that. Smart Ball, Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade Revenge, Street Fighter 2, Sunset Riders. I actually, I'm just getting into the Super Nintendo collecting, so I actually never heard of Sunset Riders until recently, and I picked this up because I realized it had value to it, and I got it for basically free, and I was really excited to get that. And I mean, it's in really great shape. So, and the reason why I say free is I'll actually put a link to a Craigslist video that I had, and it shows you what I traded to get some of these Super Nintendo games. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Moving down here is my PlayStation games. I have Crash Bandicoot Collector's Edition with Crash 3, Warped, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash. And then I have Crash Bandicoot Warped by itself. And I had this before I got the collector's edition. I only paid $10 for this collector's edition, which is a really good deal. And they're all complete. In fact, the disc, it doesn't even look like anyone's even played these. I mean, everything's in pristine condition. Pac-Man World, 20th Anniversary, and Tomb Raider. Moving down here, I only have a couple PlayStation 2 games, and like I said, my PlayStation 2 is modified so I can play copies of PlayStation 2 games, so it's really hard for me to build the collection. But I have Dot Hack parts 1 and 2, and I actually had parts 3 and 4 that I got from a pawn shop, and I only paid like $12 for part 4, but I did not keep it because it wasn't complete. It was missing the manual, so I sold it on Amazon. I think I got somewhere between like 80 and 90 bucks for it, so it wasn't bad. And I just reinvest that money. So I got Dot Hack Part 1 and 2, and both of those are complete. And then this game is not really very well known. It's like Legaia 2 Dual Saga. It's a sequel to the Legend of Legaia on the PlayStation, and it's just a really fun game. That's why I have it in my collection. Moving over here to my original Xbox games, most of these are actually my wife's. Actually, the only ones that are mine are the Halos, but she's got Crash, Twin Sanity, Fusion Frenzy, and then I got my Halo 1, 2, and the multiplayer map pack that came out on a disc. This is before download content was available. Simpsons Hit and Run, TAC, the Great Juju Challenge, Tie 1, 2, and 3. And moving down to my Xbox 360 collection, Borderlands, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, Devil May Cry, Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, Halo 3, Halo Wars, Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Halo Anniversary, Halo 4, Left 4 Dead and 1 and 2, Mortal Kombat, and Resident Evil 5. Alright, we're going to move over to my other shelf that has my N64 games, GameCube games, and my handheld games. Okay, this is my very small Wii collection that I have. Wii Sports and Link's Crossbow Training are both in custom cases because these came in sleeves and not cases. So I printed up the artwork, and inside I have the disc with the sleeve in there, and it's got the manuals in there as well. And it just makes it look nicer when you're putting it on a shelf for collecting. So I have that. I also have Metroid Prime Trilogy complete, and it has the outer sleeve, which is for some reason harder to find. I guess people just took it out of the sleeve. Super Mario Brothers and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I definitely prefer the game on the GameCube, but I'm a Zelda fan, so I'm trying to collect all the Zelda games. And moving over to my N64 collection, I have Army Men Sarge's Heroes, Banjo-Kazooie, Bomberman 64, Chameleon Twist 2, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, and then Donkey Kong 64 complete in box. And this isn't sealed, it's just resealed to protect the box. And it does have the expansion pack inside, which was another reason why I picked up the deal, because I only paid $30 for this game and the Super Nintendo game Bulls vs. Blazers, and I only paid $30 for it, and the expansion pack alone is worth between $20 and $25, so I could not pass it up. Excite Bike 64, GoldenEye 007, Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero. Then I have Paper Mario, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, Resident Evil 2, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Super Mario 64, Super Smash Brothers, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Wave Race 64, WCW NWO Revenge, WWF No Mercy, WWF Warzone, WWF WrestleMania 2000. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I know I'm missing a couple of them, like ECW and stuff like that. Yoshi's Story, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the Collector's Edition, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the Gray Cart. I'm actively looking for the Collector's Edition. I just don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it. So, moving up to my handheld, all of these are in custom cases, like the Pokemon Blue. It's in a custom case where I modified a DS case to be able to house the big cartridges, and they slide into where the Game Boy Advance is supposed to go, and I just had to cut this to where it would fit, and the manuals would actually fit. You just have to cut these out. I just don't have the manual for it, and it sits in there nicely. And then with the Game Boy Color, no, that's, I'm trying to think. This one right here is a different sized cartridge for the Game Boy Color, and it has this little bump right here, and it still fits in there nicely. And with me, Zelda fan, of course, I try to get the handheld games as well. So I got Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Gold, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, Wario Land 2, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, Castlevania, Circle of the Moon, DK King of Swing, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 3, Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and both of these I actually have a wireless wireless adapter in there as well. And I bought the red one with the wireless adapter, and then I found two wireless adapters at a pawn shop, and I paid less than like 50 cents for each of them. So that was a pretty good deal. My DS collection, I have a sealed copy of the Game & Watch Collection 2 that I got from Club Nintendo for cashing in my Nintendo points. Super Mario Bros. 64 DS, Super Mario 64 DS and Super Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, Pokemon Heart Gold, and that's the one that I got with the Zelda DS Lite that I wasn't aware that I was actually getting, and the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. And then moving on to my GameCube collection, I have Crash Tag Team Racing, F-Zero GX, Luigi's Mansion, Mario Party 7, Metroid Prime, and this is the one that has the Echoes bonus disc. And all of these are complete. And I don't collect Player's Choice, hardly anything. That's why I'll sell it if it's a Player's Choice. I got this for free at Goodwill. I basically told them it's not really a game, so they gave it to me for free. And it's actually got the inserts that came with it, and it's just a preview disc that they had on display when the GameCube came out, so that's pretty cool. Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1 and 2, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD, Resident Evil 2, 4, and Code Veronica, Soul Calibur 2, Super Mario Sunshine, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, WWE Day of Reckoning 1 and 2, WWE WrestleMania 18 and 19, Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom. I have two complete copies of The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, Legend of Zelda Four Swords, the Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I have two complete copies of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And I have two copies of that. I have this one, and then I have a sealed copy of it up here. I also got a sealed copy of The Adventures of Link. It's the classic series, which is basically like the Player's Choice of the day, but I can't be picky because it's a sealed Nintendo game. I also have a sealed And this is it's kind of loose because I put a plastic seal on top of these sealed games so it protects them. A sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword bundle and a sealed copy of Spirit Tracks for the DS. So that's my collection. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I've only been collecting for a little over a month, probably coming up on 2 months, so I think I did pretty well thus far. My favorite console to collect for is the GameCube, but I just like to collect for any Nintendo console, really. I'm really trying to build my PlayStation and PlayStation 2 collection, as well as my Wii collection. It's just harder on the Wii because it's a newer console, and I just don't get a kick out of collecting it as much as I would retro games. So just leave a comment below, tell me what you thought of the video. Hit the like button. It just takes a second, and it really helps me out to know what you think of the video as well. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later. Peace.